Imagine you are planning a party, you planned it very well, you had all the T's crossed, the I dots, you've made up your mind that the party is going to be exclusively for some set of people, strictly by invitation. Make sure the invitation is not sent to everybody or anybody, and party starts. And suddenly, some strangers bumped into the party and disrupt your party. That is exactly how it is. If you don't know how to raise your teenagers well, suddenly some things will happen and you begin to wonder, how? Where did I get it wrong? It's all foundational. I heard one of my guests today telling us how she was not validated in any way. The only thing that is magnified in that home is mistakes and error. She grew up not wanting to make mistakes because in that family system, they have no or low tolerance for mistakes. And that brought her to a place where she has to be dealing with a psychological challenge as I'm talking to you. Kids, children, they are very delicate and sensitive. I'm not saying you should worship your kids. It takes understanding to stand. It takes understanding to raise your kids. Right now, I want to bring in my guests. There were things that was said that made me to know that some people don't even know their kids. They don't understand what makes them feel loved, feel accepted, feel special. And that's why we're back. Yes, everything, say it how you feel it. No restriction, no inhibitions. Just let me hear you so that I can help you and help your parents. Go ahead.
Okay, ma. So, I said I do not know how to feel my emotions because I do not understand when I'm angry, happy, or sad. Most of the time, I'm just always feeling what I feel I'm supposed to feel. Like when I'm angry, and I know I'm angry, something at the back of my mind just tell me that I'm supposed to be happy. So if I do not feel happy, I'll feel like there's something wrong with me. So like that was when I was like around like 9 years old. That was when I started actually feeling like at the age of 9. But I just felt like something was wrong with me. I don't know why I was feeling like that though. So
nothing is wrong with you if you feel when a baby, let me explain this to parents because some of them don't even know. If you give birth to a baby in the hospital, a complete baby, especially a male child, for them to hand that baby over to you as a parent, that the baby is complete, they will check every part of that baby. They will check the pennies, they will check the scrotum. They want to be sure. That is when they will hand that baby over to you. If that baby has one scrotum, then they will put it there that the baby is not complete. Sexual feeling, sexual urge is given to all of us. It's not abnormal. It's the work of the parent to channel it right and explain it to the kids the way they will understand. They don't have to give the pictorial image of whatever they are saying, but they should let your daughter, your son be comfortable in sharing their sexuality with you. Not that a child, I don't know how you parents think. So you expect, I can't blame you. Some of us are at fault. Our background, our upbringing. I remember my mother would tell me, you are menstruating now. The day a man touches you like this, you are pregnant. Who does that? How do you explain that? So they didn't give us proper education. They didn't tell us what to do. We don't know. So I'm not blaming you as parents, but you need to understand that this thing is not self-taught. You have to teach your children. They need to know how their sexuality is wired, what they are expecting, what is going on in their hormonal system. If not, they will figure it out themselves and have wrong impression and wrong understanding of their chemicals, their body compositions. Yes.
Yes, so, but I was able to, like till now I still feel like I'm not normal for having sexual feelings. But something at the back of my mind just told me that if I keep it to myself, like that's what's going to make me feel like I'm normal. Because my mom just only told me that, oh, like boys are the ones that have sexual feelings, girls don't have it.
She doesn't know.
Yeah.
Sincerely, most parents don't know. And they are not asking questions from people that are supposed to teach them. I'm saying this with all sense of responsibility and dignity and humility. Most parents don't know that both male and female have sexual feelings. Go ahead.
Yes, so like I did not even know what menstruation meant. Like it was I think I heard it from my school. My mom never actually just told me that, oh, when you reach a certain age, you start menstruating. So like that was when I started. I didn't tell her until like a week after. Like was like a week after. That's when I told her, because I didn't feel normal enough to tell her that I was going through something like that. So like that's just what I always wanted to tell them. Like I don't feel normal feeling things. I always feel like I'm abnormal for feeling things, and I just wish to always tell them that I cannot be perfect all the time. I'm human. So like sometimes when I see them make mistakes too, I'm like, you make mistakes. So why are you always making me feel like I'm being like abnormal for making mistakes? But I don't know. That's the way I've lived throughout my life. So I just think it's a normal thing.
It's not normal. Even God made mistakes. Your parent makes mistakes. I made mistakes. I've made mistakes, uncountable. And I found myself back. It's failing forward. You don't fail backwards, you fail forward. When it comes to parenting, I think parents just assumed that they know, or they thought what their parents taught them is what they will play back to their own kids in this generation. For instance, our own parents taught us how to keep malice without even knowing. The way parents thought they could train their children is the way their father trained them. I remember one man said, that's not my father trained me. I'll beat you. I'll show you. My father. And I look at the man. I said, your life does not even prove that your father trained you well. So the way you want to end your life is the way your father has trained you. That's kind of crazy as far as I'm concerned. So sincerely, genuinely, this is passed down. Probably her mother never told her about my period. I couldn't tell my mother that I was menstruating. I just told her that I sat on a tree and a tree shook my bum and I started bleeding. That was what I told my mom, because I didn't want them to beat me. I didn't want her to talk me down. She said something that I'll come back to him to say his own, then I will emphasize on what she said about, I just wish my daddy would tell me you are beautiful. It's not that my daddy telling me, look at the mirror tells you are beautiful. It's not every child. In the natural, a child had this fallen nature of low self-esteem. When Adam and Eve sinned, we lost it. All our worth and value went away. He went away from the presence of God. God came and said, Adam, where are you? He said, I heard your voice and I was afraid. Fear is number one thing that takes people away from the presence of God. That was exactly what happened. And God had to tell him, who told you you are naked? Meaning that one thing that happens at the fall is the fact that we don't have our identity again. As a matter of fact, God asked Adam, who told you you were naked? Meaning that the moment sin comes to a man's life, is not having any connection to do with God. And it's God, your relationship with God, that builds your worth, builds your value, gives you a self-esteem and makes you to feel special. So as far as Adam was concerned, because of the fall, lost the self-esteem. And no child is born again. We all came to this world. David said, in sin I was born, in iniquity my mother conceived me. The Bible says that for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. So definitely every child, every human being needs that word of affirmation, that validation to make them feel special. And who does that? Parents. Yes, let me have my male guest. Over to you. Things that you wish you could tell your parents and they are not hearing, or you're telling them, body language, coldness, shutting down, and yet they are not getting it. You said one. I want to hear another one.
Okay, there are a lot of things in school that I do pass through, but to be able to open up to my parents is one big trouble. For example, now there was a time in school like that when I was in SS3 second term. The friends that were around me, they were like, okay, you're already a mature guy, gonna have a girlfriend. And as a guy, almost all my friends, when we are going to lesson like this, they will be a guy with a girl. And the kind of pressure that is within me, it is very much that sometimes I would like to tell my mommy that, okay, this is what I'm passing through. Should I have a girlfriend? Should I not have? What time is it right for me to have a girlfriend? But She does not want to just listen. She will start saying that I should have friends, I should have friends, I should have friends. She does not out because there are a lot of things. My friends will just be like, go have a girlfriend, go have a girlfriend. And I'll be like, she now by force they take out girlfriend because they'll be like, don't you want to belong? And within our group, and the only one left alone that okay, I only have friends, I don't have a girlfriend. And I tried telling my mom, she will be like, okay, just go and have a friend. She does not really understand like the kind of pressure I'm passing through within me, the kind of fault that my friends are putting on me, just go and have, the kind of things I'm facing in school.
Wow. This issue of belonging, this issue of trying to join the Jones and the Joneses, parents, hear me, there's so much going on in the head of your teenagers. That's just the truth. How on earth would you think that peer pressure is pressuring your son to have a girlfriend? And of course, you are mounting pressure for him to have friends because he's introverted. If that child is not a child that has made up his mind or probably know what he wants from life, he would have been pressured into having girlfriends and having female friends. The question is, you are insisting, go and have a friend. You must have a friend. Have you taken time to explain the kind of friendship you want from your son? Just have a friend. Just have a friend. If not for the fact that he's an introvert, he thinks things through, he would have gotten to a place where he would look for a girlfriend. And if he finally pregnates a girl, you are the one that will say he has become a black sheep in the family because he pregnated a girl. And when a child does anything, like she was talking about low tolerance or no tolerance for mistakes, if at the end of the day anything happens, maybe pregnated a girl, maybe she got pregnant, not wanting to make mistakes, end up making mistakes, she will not, these children, the teenagers, they will not be able to open their mouth to tell you and say, Mom, Dad, you pushed me into this. If you are hearing my heart and you are hearing my spirit, my soul, my mind, give your children listening ears. The summary of this particular episode is, you don't know your kids. You don't know what speaks love to them. And I'm going to explain it shortly. You don't know their personality type. It's not every child that is going to be boss, clearing everywhere, cha. No. Some are naturally quiet. And please respect them. Respect that. You must get to a place as parents where you will respect your children. I'm not saying you should worship them. I'm not saying you should spoil them. That's not what I'm saying. You know, there's a limit to everybody's endurance. There's a way you honor a child that the child will honor you back. For instance, she made a statement which I'm going to round off with and continue in the next episode of bringing another guest. I know some of them have a similar challenge. She said, I wish my father would just say, you are beautiful. We speak different love languages. This girl, what speaks love to her is words. What brought her to this level today of having a psychological challenge, of having no self-esteem, of not feeling among, of just shutting down, is just that every word that is being spoken to her has crushed her. And most parents, when they are angry, they think they are talking to a wood or a stone. They don't know that those kids assimilate, meditate, reminiscence over every word that is being spoken to them. I'm sure you are hearing something. If you are raising kids, and it is not just teenagers, starts from, look at children that have brought here, they were molested at age 4, age 5. So that tells you they can communicate. And having parents that does not communicate with their kids, just know that the accident that is about to happen, you will not really enjoy them when you wish to after you have labored. And most parents, they focus on, I paid money, I paid school fees, cooperative money, I'm struggling to make you comfortable. It's history and story as far as those kids are concerned, because what you are saying sincerely does not make a resolute sense to those children. I'm sure you heard something today from the mouth of your kids. I didn't push words into their mouth. I just wanted them to open their heart up to you and tell you what exactly is a challenge that they are going through, not being able to tell you what is in their mind. I appreciate you for watching. Please share it with your friends, your colleagues in the office. Let them know that their kids are saying something. There are things they are saying and there are things they are not saying. And those things they are not saying is loud, very loud than what they are saying. Thank you very much for watching. Connect with me on all my social media and enjoy part of this podcast. I appreciate you for watching. I'll see you in another episode. Thank you.